Hi everyone. Today we are going to study arouse a suspense. Arouse a suspense. Here is the way Mr. Powell Haley began a talk at the Penn Atlantic Club in Philadelphia. 82 years ago, there was published in London a little volume, a story which was destined to become immortal. Many people have called it the greatest little book in the world. And when it first appeared, friends meeting one another on the Strand or Pall Mall asked the question, "Have you read it?" The answer invariably was, "Yes, God bless him, I have." The day it the day it was published, 1,000 copies were sold. Within a fortnight, the demand had consumed 15,000. Since then, it has run into countless thousands of editions and has been translated into every language under heaven. A few years ago, J.B. Morgan purchased the original manuscript for a fabulous sum, and it now reposes among the priceless treasures in his magnificent art gallery. What is this world famous book? It is. Are you interested? Yes. Are you interested? Are you eager to know more? Are you eager to know more? Has the speaker captured the favorable attention of his listeners? Do you feel this opening has held your attention, heightened your interest as it progressed? Why? Because it aroused your curiosity and held you in suspense. Curiosity, who is not susceptible to it? Perhaps you too, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, you are asking just who is the author and what is the book mentioned above. To satisfy your curiosity, here is the answer. The author, Charles Dickens. The book, A Christmas Carol. Creating suspense is a surefire method of getting your listeners interested. Here is how I try to arouse suspense in my lectures on how to stop worrying and start living. I begin like this. In the spring of 1871, a young man who was destined to become a world famous physician, yes, William Osler, picked up a book and read 21 words that had a profound effect upon his future. What were the 21 words, and how did these words affect his future? These are the questions your listeners will want answered, isn't it? Yes, and we are going ahead with state and arresting fact. State and arresting fact. Clifford R. Adams, director of marriage counseling service of the Pennsylvania State College, began an article in the Reader's Digest entitled How to Pick a Mate. A very interesting topic, how to pick a mate. And these startling facts that make you gasp, facts that make an arresting opener. Okay? Today, the chances that our young people will find happiness through marriage and slim. Indeed, the rise of our divorce rate is frightening. One marriage in five or six landed on the rocks in 1940. By 1946, it is expected to be 1 in 4. And if long range trends continue, the rate is 50 years will be 1 in 2. Here are two other examples of arresting fact openers. The War Department predicts that in the first night of an atomic war, 20 million Americans will be killed. The War Department predicts that in the first night of an atomic war, 20 million Americans will be killed. A few years ago, the Scripps Howard newspaper spent $176,000 on a survey to discover what customers disliked about retail stores. About retail stores. It was the most costly, the most scientific, and the most thorough survey ever made of retail selling problems. Questionnaires were sent into 54,000 homes in 16 different states. One of the questions was, what do you dislike about the stores in this town? Almost two-fifths of all the answers to that question were the same: discourteous clerks. Discourteous clerks. And this method of making startling statements at the beginning of a talk is effective in establishing contacts with the listener because it jars the mind, and it is a kind of shock technique that enlists attention by using the unexpected to focus attention upon the subject matter of the talk. One of our class members in Washington, D.C. used this method, arousal of curiosity, as effectively as anyone I have ever heard. Her name, Meg Shell. Here is her opening. We are going to study this opening. It was a prisoner for 10 years, not in an ordinary prison, but in one whose walls were worry about my inferiority, and whose bars were the fear of criticism. Don't you want to know more about this true life episode? A danger of startling opener must be avoided. That is, the tendency to be over dramatic or too sensational. And I remember one speaker, yes, who started his talk. I remember one speaker who started his talk by shooting a pistol in the air. By shooting a pistol in the air. He got attention, all right, but he also blasted the eardrums of his listeners. Right, friends? So tomorrow we're going to continue ahead. Till then, take good care of yourself. Love you all. And see you again. Till then, bye bye.